Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Monday. How is everyone doing today? Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Happy Monday.
Welcome to the second episode Into the Rift. Everything to do with Riftwalker, the game. Hey, what's up, Z? Welcome. Hey,
Hi,
Fire,
Z.
how are you doing? Hey, Web, welcome. Hey, Gray, welcome.
Hi, baby. Hi, Gray. Hi, Web. Hi, Fire.
What's up, everyone? Welcome, you guys. Yeah, we'll get started in just a moment here. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. If you guys didn't watch last week's episode, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you have already seen by now, because we've been running the rerun on the channel. But if you haven't seen it, it is available on the Patreon. If you just go over to the Patreon, you can sign up. It's free member tier. You can sign up there and you can check it out over there. There is, and we will be putting this one over there too. So, but yeah, you can watch it over there. It is all about, we went detail into detail and through each of the tiers, explained the tiers, really talked about the game, just a lot of stuff in general. It was a lot of fun. It was cool. So today we're going to dive into the what was done basically last week, and I worked on the new apartment stuff last week, and I'm going to kind of go through that and talk about that in depth today. And if you haven't seen it, if you are a patron and you haven't seen it yet, there is a post on the Patreon that literally goes through everything that I'm about to talk about tonight, but it was there for the patrons. So yeah, it tells you like all the different things that you get from the apartment and how the apartment evolves with you and like what you get as it evolves. Hey, can you guys hear Heather?
Hello? I wasn't even talking.
No, before you were. I just want to make sure they can hear you.
Oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, that's
All right,
a big
cool.
link.
All right.
All right, well, guys, that's
a big
the
link.
post for that's the post for the Ashton's apartment. If you haven't seen it,
Follow the big ass link.
That is what we're gonna be. Sorry.
What the hell?
I didn't
kind of
realize
link
it
is
was gonna be that big. I didn't realize it was gonna be that big.
That's a huge link. It's a big bitch. That's a huge link. I wasn't expecting that.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
You're good. So yeah, so that's what we're going to kind of start out with tonight and go over that and just talk about that in depth.
Oh, also, if you're watching the rerun of this on Twitch later, hi, we're not live. This is a rerun. Just wanted to say that.
That's great. I'm glad you clarified that. That was a good one. That's great. Yeah, exactly.
Now, to those of you in chat right now, yes, we are live. I'm gonna confuse everybody.
So funny.
Right? I'm gonna confuse everybody in chat right now.
Right? Oh, this is a rerun? Got it.
Yeah, so he's like, this is a rerun? Got it.
All right, hold on, I'm gonna grab
Tomorrow it will be a rerun. Or today if you're watching it tomorrow. You think I only need that? Okay, cool. Well, there we go. Let me copy that, because I'm gonna need that for when we share the post later.
Yeah.
I don't think we've shared this one yet.
Oh, look at Web gave it right there. That's the one you want.
That's what I just said.
I was getting my drink, babe. I went and grabbed it.
Oh my goodness.
I told you, I said I gotta go grab my drink.
I didn't even hear him say that. Anybody else hear him say that?
I did.
I didn't.
It was okay.
I mean, I don't doubt that you did. I just did not hear it.
Oh, man.
Look, I was talking about how they could be rerun. They're watching the rerun tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or it could be today, but tomorrow.
Yes, I know.
Or yesterday.
Or whenever. Yeah. Just know. Exactly. The music's not even on, Z. You're hearing things, dude.
Oh, babe, it's because they're watching the starting soon.
There is no music. There's no music, Z.
It's the video, babe.
No, it's not, baby.
It was, wasn't it? It was, wasn't it?
But there is no music. That is all in your imagination, Z. There's no music.
It says the rerun Into the Rift podcast tonight. Babe, switch it over to...
You don't like that?
This is all chaotic. I mean, how do we not have a podcast without it being chaos?
Right? Exactly.
See, the video was playing music.
Yeah, it was. It was. In your imagination, it was. Everyone. Hey, Princess,
hi, Princess.
welcome.
Hi, Pyro.
Hey,
hi, Noah.
welcome. Welcome, you guys. So, yeah, we're going to kick it off.
Even though you're watching a rerun of this, we know that you're in here, so we're calling you out now.
Oh, that's great. First, we want to thank everybody who tuned in last week for last week's first episode of the podcast. Like I said before, little recap. It was really awesome. We touched on just a lot of the game itself, just the overall game, the vision of the game, stuff like that. And then we went really in depth in all of the different tiers for the patron. So also, if you're not signed up with the patron, right? There's a free tier level that you can sign up with. It will give you a shout out on stream if you sign up. So we'll know when you sign up. So we could be like, and we could celebrate all together, and it would be awesome. Okay? Just want to throw that out there. We got it on the screen. I want to be able to test it and see if it works. So if anyone wants to sign up, you're more than welcome to. So that I can see if it works. All right, so tonight...
Go sign up, guys. Go over there and sign up for us. Please, please, please.
So, yeah, tonight what we're going to go over is we're going to go over Ashton's apartment and basically the
we
reasoning...
can read your mind, by the way. Sorry.
Feels like this rerun can read my mind. It's really weird.
We know exactly what you're saying.
Exactly what you're saying.
All right, babe, go ahead.
So we're going to go over like Ashton's apartment, exactly what that is and how it's going to work in game. Like I said before, for you guys. Hey, what's up, Trill? Welcome. By the way,
Hi,
your
Trill.
asylum was really dope looking, dude. Really good job. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over Ashton's apartment. So the idea I came up with was I wanted to have a dwelling for the player, like to go to, you know, like when they're in between questing and stuff like that, to go back to and kind of rest and chill and kind of be able to do different things in it. So, and I'm going to go over like the whole entire list of like how it's going to work, what it's going to do, all that good stuff. So first of all, let me go ahead and let's go here. And I'm just gonna, because a lot of things are completely unloaded, so a lot of this stuff is gonna disappear at runtime because I have it completely unloaded. But what I want to do is take you guys from here into the first version of the apartment, and then I'm going to explain everything after that, just so you guys can see. So we're going to go, I want to punch something. Let's walk up here, and then we'll go into the apartment here. And you can see this is the first version of the apartment, right? It's pretty run down. It's pretty messed up because it's a glorified storage. And what's going to happen in the very beginning of the game, you're going to meet a NPC named Rin Kalo, and he's basically he's a quartermaster for Vartosa, the Vartosa settlement, and he has a warehouse that has, you know, a lot of stuff in it, but he's got these squatters that are in this warehouse and they won't leave, and they're pretty violent too, and he can't get them out. So you come along and he's like, hey, you know, you can get them out of there, whatever means you need to do to get them out of there, just don't leave bodies in the street. He's like, if you can get them out of there, you know, that'd be awesome. I'd really appreciate it. And when you do it and you bring, you know, you bring him proof that they're gone, he says, okay, that's awesome. Thank you. He's like, okay, here's what you can do. You can have this place and chill. You know, it's still mine. I own it, but you can have it and fix it up however you want. It's yours. And, you know, it's kind of your safe haven from in between questing and stuff like that. So in the very beginning, who we got? Who followed that one, babe? I can't read it, honey. I know you can see it. Look on screen.
Babe, you have it in purple. I think that's Naruto.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate you.
You gotta change where
Honey,
the color is. That's why you can't see it.
I can't. I have no control over it. Nope. That's yep. That's the problem. I have to figure out how to do that later with the scripting and stuff like that. But I figured out how to get it to tie in from Patreon to Twitch. That was the hard part. So we got that done. That was the hardest part, to get them to communicate with each other. So that's the first thing I got to do. But thank you so much, Naruto. I really appreciate that. So from here, what's going to happen is you're going to come in here and there's going to be some thugs in here. You're going to clear it out, right? It's one of those kind of like beginning of the game missions. So it's not going to be super hard. It's not going to be super easy, but it's going to be just enough to really just kind of get you in there, let you wet your whistle and get a feel for combat and stuff like that. But at the same time, the reward is you get this place as as your beginning apartment. So like I said, there's going to be 5 different tiers, and this is the first tier here. And if you can look over here, you know, you start out with this kind of like glowy little light, this little bedroll, a locker, and then you have a small chest for storage, right? So outside storage outside of your inventory. And that's just kind of how it works. So the bedroll is going to give you a very small rested buff, like a buff that you can have. And you're going to need that for later when you go into what's called the void, because when you go in the void, you get a permanent debuff when you go in there. And this helps kind of combat that debuff just a little bit. Now, as we get going and as the game progresses, your apartment's going to progress with you. So let me show you, and I'm going to skip right to it just so you can see, but let's go this way. And I'm going to show you version 5. So this is version 1 that we are in, and then we're going to go right to version 5. And then I'm going to explain all the amenities of version 5 and how it works. So we come this way, you can see here, this is version 5 of that same layout. So I want to show you guys real fast. So here, let's look at it real quick here, and then let's go back over here, and you can see this is what it used to look like here. So you can see here, everything's kind of run down, messed up. There's no stairs, there's no nothing. And then this is your last version of it here. So this has all the amenities unlocked. And so the amenities follow as a kitchen right here. And what's going to happen is, and if you go to the, so also you can get more notes on this if you go to the Patreon. You can actually, I made a post on the Patreon about this particular segment that we're talking about right now. But so to start out, tier 1 is going to give you a bedroll that lets you save your game. It's going to give you a locker that lets you change outfits, and it's going to give you a storage chest that lets you stash loot. So that's what tier 1 is going to give you. That's the first one that we saw. Tier 2 will be the same thing, but it adds a kitchen. And you are able to cook meals for timed buffs. So you're able to get different types of little power-up buffs from cooking meals. So in the game, you'll be able to collect like different resources, maybe different plants or whatever, even from the void, you'll be able to get them. And you'll be able to create recipes where you can create yourself food and buffs as you're going out and journeying and stuff like that. So that's tier 2. Tier 3 is going to give you a bigger bed. So you get a regular bed instead of a mattress on the floor, and it's going to give you a nicer storage. And you're going to obviously have the kitchen with the buff meals, but then it's going to then include the lounge. So if we come over here, you can see that there's a lounge right here. So this is tier, like you got to have this to me is priority. You got to have this lounge because that's just priority, just the way it goes, right? And then that starts giving you what's called a well-rested buff. It's a well-rested bonus. So that gives you a larger bonus. And what I'm going to specify and really talk about is that these buffs are really going to help you when you go into the void, into the other dimension, because the other dimension, the more time you spend in it, the more debuff, the more that debuff hurts. So just keep that in mind. And by getting these different amenities gives you the ability to spend more time in there and do more things. So just keep that in mind. So tier 4 is going to give you a closet, expanded storage. So your expanded storage would be all this over here, right? You'd get expanded storage, and then you're going to get the kitchen, the lounge buffs, and then you get the research lab. So the research lab is going to give you the ability when you're finding loot or you're finding materials out in the world or you're finding all these different things, it's going to give you the ability to sell them for a higher price to a merchant, because at that point, you know what it's worth. You know what the value of the item is that you have because you researched it and figured it out. Also, when you research and figure it out, it unlocks stats that you can use to create different things, whether it's going to be upgrades to your armor, your weapons, whether it's going to be new food buffs, so on and so forth, stuff like that. So that's basically tier 4. Tier 5 is going to unlock the bedroom. And so the bedroom up here is going to give you that maximum buff. There's a obviously it's a well-rested buff, and it's better than the other one. It's going to give you a larger bedroom, larger storage, just stuff like that. It's going to upgrade your research lab. It's going to give you different ways to use your research lab and basically stuff like that. So why I wanted to do this, I wanted not just the character to evolve, but I wanted the dwelling to evolve too. So the player gets to see this thing kind of evolve in front of their eyes. So what's going to happen is there'll be 5 different versions. You guys won't see this, but this is what I can explain to you. So let me hide this real fast so you can see what I'm talking about. So let's hide this. And then right here, if I let's unhide all versions of the apartment. So we'll come here and we'll come down to Vartosa, and then we'll go to apartments. And then what we'll do is we'll just load in apartment 3. Then we'll load in apartment 4 and apartment 5.
Because like when you're playing a game, you don't realize like all the behind the scenes stuff, you know, of like what goes into us being able to see like the changes of that. I don't know. It's really cool to see this.
So with this right here, right, you start out with apartment 1, which is the just bare bones nothing. So once you reach a particular area or a particular point in the game, then all of a sudden there will be a quest line that'll happen, and it will enable you to upgrade. It'll basically auto upgrade your apartment. You'll come home, you'll have a new amenity on it, and you'll be like, yeah, the new unlock. So it's just kind of like.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you done the interiors for 2, 3, and 4, or just 1 and 5?
No, only 1 and 5. And what I'll do is I'll basically take one and duplicate it all the way through 2, 3, and 4, and then go through and then just take and remove trash, move the area, and bring the area back up to life again. Yeah, that's the plan. So that's how it will work. And then the way I have it working right now is through what's called data layers. So what I'll be able to do is specify when the player is so far along in the game, it'll literally completely unload all of these other ones, which they won't exist in the world. And then once they, whatever version that they're on, it'll load that version only, and then everything else will be completely unloaded. So none of this will exist in the world until it's ready to exist. So once it upgrades again, this one will exist and all these will be gone. So on and so forth. Stuff like that. Now.
All right, so Pyro says, question, void debuffs are permanent. How does the rested features combat the debuff?
So in the void, you get a debuff, and you get a permanent debuff. This is how the void works. There's a way to play the game without using the void at all. You can play the whole entire game. You'll be able to play the game without using the void, but it's not going to be easy. But with the void, when you go into it, you get an instant permanent debuff. What happens is that debuff can affect your stats. It can affect your speed. It can affect your damage. It can affect a lot of things that's happening with your player. What happens is that the more things that you do in the void, let's say that you go in the void and you just explore. So that's just time in void. That's really all that's going to be. And this is all behind the scenes. And what I'm telling you is like, you wouldn't even know this as a player. You would just know that you're getting a debuff for doing things. So think about it this way. You're not supposed to be there regardless. You're in limbo. You're in the place between life and death. The only way that you get there is if you die, because that's where you get judged to go to heaven or hell. That's how it kind of works. So when you're there and you're alive. So instantly you're not supposed to be there. So what happens is that when you're in there and let's say you're exploring and you're trying to find resources, well, your debuff just really ticks up at a really slow rate. But let's say that you're in there and you're doing a bounty mission, and instead of just running in through the building and going around all the guards and just disregarding everything, let's just say that you start killing them and you kill them all. You kill 10 of them. Your debuff gets really bad. You get a lot of really bad negatives to your debuff. The more people that you kill, the more things that you do. But here's the kicker. You need to kill people in order to travel into the void, because the void is like a cheat mechanic. It gives you the ability to do things that you would not be able to do in real life, but there is a risk and reward for it. The risk is that you can incur these major debuffs that happen to you in the void, but they also happen in the real world. So there's just different things that you need to combat that. And as you progress in the game and you're able to, you get these rested buffs, whatever, you just got to take your time. The whole point of it is I don't want somebody just going in there and trying to wipe out everything and feeling like it's like, oh, well, there's no repercussion to this.
The end game too
exactly.
fast.
They got to pace themselves. They got to figure out the best way to do it. There's ways to go in and not do anything. There's ways to go in and do something or do a little bit of something. So just stuff like that. That's what it is.
But Pyro's saying, but how does the apartment help you combat that debuff?
That's how you get the buffs. You get the buffs that combat that debuff, meaning like your rested areas. So your bed or your lounge, depending on like, you know, if you're in your lounge or you're relaxing in your lounge, it gives you what's called a well-rested buff, or a, you know, or there could be a buff that you get from that lounge that's not like, it's more like a speed buff for running faster, for jumping higher, for doing different things. So that's how your apartment helps you, because each of them is an amenity to you and helps you throughout the game. So the more rested you are, let's say that you're on a planet somewhere and you're fighting something and you're doing some stuff and you went into the void and you decided to not go back to your apartment. You decided to go into like another bandit camp somewhere. And in that bandit camp, there is something that specifies that you might want to use the void here. Or you might see something that like a crack in the fiber of time or whatever, fabric of time, and you use the void there and you see that there's something there. Well, you just went through all this stuff, did all these things, and now you're in the void, and next thing you know is maybe you're getting attacked in the void because there's something there. There might be a chest there, there could be a plant there could be a rock there, it could be whatever, and you decide to do it anyways. Well, when you come out of that, you're still in that bandit camp, and there could be more bandits there, not necessarily respawning, but it's just going to make your game, it's the way that you figure out how you want to use it. Like you can use it to your advantage. It could be a disadvantage. There's just so many different ways that you can play it. It's just strategic playing. That's really what it is. And so your apartment helps just battle that debuff, because you're going to be in the void a lot if you're using the void. Trust me, it's going to get addictive. And you're going to be in there a lot and doing a lot of things and discovering different things and stuff like that. So that's how it works.
Right,
you haven't touched UE since college? Right, what were you going to say now?
Shrill says, are you going to have a boss killer gun?
A what? A boss killer gun? Like a gun that kills bosses?
Says, I want to add a boss killer gun in one project where it will one-shot a boss. It only has one shot for like 1 week of game time and has 10% chance to explode. Incinerate you to death, and you lose all your save files.
All your save files! Oh my gosh, Shrill.
Oh my gosh.
That is great. That is great. But then what I want to do also, what's going to happen also is, on top of this, you're going to be able to have quest unlocks, not just like for upgrades. So like, for instance, there's different things in the examples I gave on the Patreon is like there's a quest chain called Food for Thought, and you can find cookware, you can unlock parts of the kitchen, you can have better buff foods, stuff like that. There's just different things that you're going to be able to do. I want to tie in the apartment to a lot of different things in the game, because I really feel that the apartment itself, not necessarily is it a character, but it's going to be a very important part of your gameplay. And like I said, the one biggest thing with it too is that you're able to unlock, you're able to like watch it evolve as you evolve. To me, I love progression in games. I like to be able to see things. I like to see my character progress.
I also like that more than just like, oh, you're going to the inn and you get rest, right? Buff, whatever.
Doesn't do anything.
That's it. That's all it does.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's really cool that you're taking that to the next level, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, there's a full write-up on Patreon of this. I just posted it yesterday, and it goes over this in depth and talks about things. There's that.
Make sure while you're there, you go ahead and you sign up. Oh, you have to sign up in order to see it anyways, so.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's kind of like that. Like I said, I wanted to tie like here. I'll show you this right here. So this is version.
And if you sign up right now, you'll get a shout out on stream, by the way.
Yeah, it'll pop up on stream, you guys. Thanks for going and hanging out and signing up on the Patreon. Really would appreciate it. All right, so right here, like this is the first version of the apartment here. So it's very run down. Like there were squatters in here, and you take out the squatters, and then you gain this as your first dwelling in the game. Now, also keep this in mind. There's 7 planets in the game, and on each planet, there will be an apartment on each planet. There will be some type of dwelling on each planet. So keep that in mind. Think of it like the Ender chest from Minecraft. You'll be able to access it from those different areas. So it's something that I kind of want to I think it'd be kind of cool to do. Actually, Gray, they're sleeping right here. They're sleeping on this right there. Here, let me turn off this. You can see. No, not same apartment. It'll be different. There will be different ways to acquire things like that. But that's obviously down the road, Pyro, because like right now I'm just concentrating on one planet because I am one guy and we're trying to make this thing go somewhere. So I got to do one planet first. And once I get this planet done, then I can think about, okay, what are we going to do for the next? How's the next settlement going to look? So on and so forth. So for those of you guys that are just joining for the first time here, let's go up here. This is the settlement of Artosa. Let's go like this. Right here. And this is the settlement of Artosa. This is where you grew up as a kid. And actually, let me get rid of some of this stuff here. Let's shut the void off right here. Okay. So this is the settlement of Artosa where you grew up as a kid. And you can see it's got its little marketplace. It's got, arms dealer here. There's a few things. There's a cantina right here. And if we go underneath here, we can go into the cantina and you can see down here. This is inside of it. This is the cantina here. And so things will happen here. You'll get different odds and end jobs from people, things like that, making your way out of this place. Then if we go, let's go this way, show you guys. Yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And I really, when I describe it to people, the way I describe it is it's like Dune, Star Wars, Max Payne all had a baby, and they had a baby together and got a baby, and this is the baby. This would be the baby. So I got a lot of combat already in here, a lot of different things. How many of you guys that are in the chat right now have not seen the quick trailer, the fast trailer? Anybody else? Anybody in here that hasn't seen the actual just action trailer? It's really quick. It's like a minute, 10 seconds. Anybody not seen it? Curious. And then like over here, this is where you haven't? Okay, cool. I'll show it to you in just a second here. So this is Blackwell Core. Just play it. Shrill says just play it. All right, Shrill, I'm just going to play it because you said just play it. Shrill's like, just play it. All right, I'm playing it, Shrill. Here we go. Here's a small trailer here that you guys can check out. Let me turn down this music. There we go. All right, here we go. So this is just an action trailer. There you go. All right, let's go back. So yeah, so that's the action trailer right there. Final Fantasy VII? Really? Really? Interesting. I'm gonna have to go watch that and see. So yeah, so this is your home planet that you grow up on. It's called Asakai. This is the home planet you grow up on. You grew up in what's called the Vartosa settlement, and out there is what's considered the Outer Wilds. Each map is 4K by 4K. And to give you guys an idea, we actually did a test the other day on stream. So for those of you that are wondering, I stream this all the time. And I stream the development of this game all the time. So everything that you see here, the majority of all this has been done on stream. So everything that you guys see, it's been done on stream. So we did a test the other day, and it took 45 minutes to light jog from that corner. Hold on, let me go up so you can see. It took 45 minutes to light jog from this corner all the way over to here. The last shot where you go into the engine, give you the vibes of Ray driving by the Star Wars Destroyer. Nice. Nice. That's awesome. But yeah, it took 45 minutes, just to give you guys an idea, to light jog, not a walk, a light jog from here all the way to here. I was like, all right, that's cool. And think about it this way. There's no aggressive mobs anywhere. So there's no animals anywhere, no creatures, anything like that. No bandits that are going to, may be on the path somewhere that are going to keep you and it's going to take more time to get where you're going. So that took 45 minutes just to light jog from there to there. So that gives you an idea of how much room this has. We have plenty of room for activities. And if we go down here, let me go ahead and show you guys some of the Patreon stuff. Let's go over here. So we have a tier on the Patreon called the Bounty Hunter tier. And what that tier is that tier gives you the ability to have a gravestone with a custom epitaph on it. So if we jump into the game here, I'm gonna show you guys that real fast. And this is the Bounty Hunter tier of the game. So you'll have something that forever is in the game. Matter of fact, as people sign up, it gets put in the game instantly. That's how fast we do it. Oh, the gameplay. It's gameplay. I have a what I call a void. It's how do I call it? It's like void vision. It's like void speed, and so you can slow down the whole entire world around you, and that's how you can fight, by slowing down the world around you, and everything goes into slow motion, and you've got to time your shots right and stuff like that. So it has that kind of feel of Max Payne. Yeah, it's bullet time. But what I was going to show here is, check it out. So we go over here like this, you can see the different tombstones, and we go up to one of them, you can see right here, I don't know if Devil Dog's in here creeping, but Devil Dog is one of our Bounty Hunter tier supporters on the Patreon. So right here, you can see this is his own custom message that comes up. He got to pick his own tombstone. And then if you come over here, like this is our son who passed away, Devin. So I can completely immortalize our son in this game forever. So that means when this game's on Steam and people are playing the game and going through and reading the different tombstones, our son will be there. And then my dad's right here. This is my dad's. And then we've got just different like funny ones that you can see here. And if we go, I think it was, let me see where they all are, because there's more of them. Oh yeah, let's go this way. I think it's this one here. Yeah, here lies Strahd. You should see the other guy. And then over here, because he's got two of them, the other guy. It's fantastic. And so,
and just to let you all know, I know that some people have wondered how you get another one. Just to let you know that if you've already signed up for the Bounty Hunter Patreon tier, but you're wanting to get a second tombstone, you can do that by donating to our donation link.
yeah.
But just in the comments, maybe just put that you want a second tomb, and then we'll contact you and find out what you want on that tomb, and we can put it up.
So yeah, so this is, like I said, this is one of the Patreon tiers right here, is getting a stone. Now each individual settlement will also have one of these memorial grounds outside of the city. So we actually have like real family members in here, like friends and family of ours that are actually in here. And it's just really cool because you can have something funny on it if you want. You can have a quote on there if you want. You can have it for, a loved one. So that's this part here. Now, we'll go to the other Patreon area so you can see that. Let's go this way. We'll fly out here. And the next one we're going to is what's called the Plane of Echoes. And this is on, well, let's see what we have here. I'm trying to remember what tier this was, babe. This is Ascended tier. This is the Ascended tier on the Patreon. So what this is
that's one of the dream tiers, right?
Yeah, this is the Plane of Echoes. This is where heaven meets hell in my story. So one side of this portal goes to heaven and the other side of this portal goes to hell. And this is kind of the judgment grounds. And so let me show you And this is a patron area. So the patron area is where people who supported at this level will actually have their support in here. So like, do you see this crystals? Let me go into the void. All right, so now we're in the void. You can see the souls flying around us here. So they're gonna bug us for a little bit. It's okay. So we come up here, this right here, this is one of the ones, and what will happen is whoever gets in at this tier, this thing will unfold and open up and whisper their name, like echoes. And so that's kind of what this area is here.
Now, I think the confusion, but anybody can come here, right? Like, anyone's gonna be able to come here, or only the Patreon?
No, anybody can come here. Anyone will be able to come here.
It's just that it echoes, yeah.
It just echoes the name of the patrons.
You say this is a Patreon-only area, and I think that might be confusing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you
know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. All right, what did you say, Princess? Maybe an odd question, but would it be too much to ask about a custom headstone? Because I'd love to have for Danny. So what are you thinking, custom headstone, Princess? Like, what are you thinking? And maybe I can make it happen.
It would just be as long as it's like something that he has in his library, probably.
Well, I just want to see, because I did the same with Char's mom.
Yeah. Because he did, for my best friend, he did a bear tombstone because she loved bears, so he was able to make a custom bear one.
Yeah, here, hold on. Let's go back over here. My doggo Danny
was such a sweet pupper, and one of my last pics I have of him was him curled up on his bed under my desk.
Oh.
So I don't think you can actually do.
I think
you could do like
I could probably get a dog one. Yeah, like, so here's what I did.
Do an actual like picture.
Princess, here's what I did, just so you can see as the customization for this particular one here. See how it has the bear statue on top? Because she loved bears.
So it would just be like whatever asset would be in his library of assets, I think. But you wouldn't be able to just make an asset, right?
It all depends on what Princess wants. That's what I'm wondering. Because, like, you know me, I can be magic.
That's true, you can.
All right, so let's do this. So yeah, here, let me show you guys.
Especially like early stages of this.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more lenient, like, not lenient, but a little more like, willing to, especially those of you that are supporting him at this level right now. Like, you guys have no idea how much it means to us, how much it helps us right now, how much it helps his dream and his passion come true to be able to just work on this project. So anything right now that you guys can support, even if it's just going to the Patreon and signing up for free, you have no idea how much that helps us.
Yeah. So this is another area here. This is Deep Line Descent. This is Blackwell Core. So Blackwell Core is kind of like the refinery that everyone works at from Vartosa, but Blackwell Core was shut down because of a breach. And you see these crystals right here? So these crystals are anomalies. So if we go underneath here, we go out of here and we go to...
Yeah, Princess, I say go ahead and just provide the pic, and then he can see what he can do.
Yeah, let me see what it looks like, and then I can figure something out. I think it'd be cool if the Patreon perks carry over to the other planets. Nah, they can't do that. There's going to be other things on the other planets. I mean, you might be able to choose what planet you want to put it on. I will give you that. I will be like, hey, here's the choice. Anybody that has a grave here, if you want to put it on a different planet, I'm open to that 100%. So if you feel like you want it on an ice planet or a lava planet or whatever, I am 100% like, I'm on board with that. All right, let's go to here. So this is where the shattered core is. This is actually a facade. So players will never know where they're at in the game, but this is kind of where it exists. And this is the shattered core. This is what you can see here. There's a breach here in the ground, and you can see it kind of growing up and blowing up everywhere. So this has something to do with the void. And so if you look here, they have research facilities here and stuff like that. And you basically use this lift to get here. That lift there, there's a little teleporter inside of it that teleports the player to that exact location. So if we go, let's go back out of here. And then we got different, like, currently right now we got different bandit camps and stuff like that. But everything's fully functional. There's a drone system in it. A lot of these, like I said, this is just me doing it. So this is very, like, the systems are there, but they're obviously rudimentary and they need more polish to them. Some of them do, but the majority of it, it's playable currently from my end. So if you look over here, we have another one here. You can come in here. And if I do this, you can see all the green represent spawners where enemies are. Here, let me change the lighting for the day so you can see. Let's go. Let's do 1300. How about that? Let's do 1400. Let's get some sun on this side. Okay, well, never mind. Let's just go back through it so you can see. You can see the lighting here. You can see how it all works and looks. Then if we go over this way, we'll go to Dusthold Station, which is kind of like, and so that's another thing I wanted to explain too once we go through here, is if you look here, there's a ship here like this, right? And this right here, there's two different ways. There's interplanetary travel, where if you find one of these ship pads right here, you can basically travel from point to point. So you can travel from this point back to Vartosa settlement, because one of these exists inside of the settlement. This is interplanetary travel. You also have the bike system too, with the speeder bikes, where you're able to jump on those and use those too. So then there's that. And then if we go back, I don't know if the starport or the ship port's open. Let me look. Let's go over here. Yeah, it's right. Well, let's unhide it. Let's go here. Let's go down. We want to go to spaceport. So we'll unhide the whole spaceport. Give it a moment. It's right there. Okay. So you can see the whole spaceport's right here. And so this is for planetary travel. So once you get the ability to be able to travel out of here, because you have to do things, get permission, get your notoriety, you got to get a lot of different things up in order to leave, because you can't just leave this planet. It's controlled, and you have to do certain things to be able to leave. And once you leave this planet, you'll be able to go up and go to either the next planet, so on and so forth, like that. There's also a bounty hunter system, so that's also in the game. That's also on the Patreon. So there is a tier on the Patreon. Let me go over to my own Patreon so I can remember where it's at, and go here. And it is I want to say it was the Riftwalker one. Yeah. So the Riftwalker one is after 5 consecutive months at that tier on the Riftwalker, you actually would be put in the game as a contract target NPC. So there's going to be a system in the game that does randomized bounties. And so, like I said, with 7 different planets in different locations, you're going to have like randomized bounties that you'll have at different tiers. So you have like common, uncommon, rare, epic, and like in legendary. So, and each one of them will give different rewards, different notoriety and stuff like that. So with that, there will be this system that's in there that what will happen is that you'll go to a terminal, and it's the Aegis network, that's the network, the bounty network. You'll go to the Aegis network terminal, and it'll bring up a bunch of like list of wanted fugitives, and they have different tiers on them, and depending on the complexity of how it is. And when you bring up that list, anybody that's a Riftwalker tier, their name will be in that list. You will be a targeted bounty on that list. So that's one of the cool things with that. But what's going to happen is you'll have this list come up, and you'll pick your bounty target or bounty targets if you want to take 2 or 1 or whatever. And then it'll tell you that your target was last seen on X planet or X location. And that's all you get. When you get to that planet, you'll send your drone companion up into the air. Your drone companion will scan that planet in that area for your fugitive. And if there is some type of sign where they're located, it'll triangulate. It'll give you 3 different locations that you can go look. And in between it could be those 3 locations, or it could be anywhere in between them for you to find your fugitive. And you have a certain amount of time before the fugitive knows that they're being hunted. And once they know they're being hunted, then they're what's considered to be on the run. And so that's going to be a system in the game where you have this kind of randomized, and that's more for just filler content and side stuff. That's just going to be side stuff, but it might be tied into, some of it could be tied into the main quest line. It could be tied into side quest lines, just things like that. Okay, so let's see. Anybody else say anything? You did. You sent me stuff, didn't you?
What'd you those say? Are just for you to look after stream.
Okay, cool.
It's princess pictures, and I know it made me all sad.
Aw.
Reminds me of Lucky.
Yeah. Poor Danny boy. Aw.
So adorable.
Yeah.
And then I also sent you Pyro's song.
Okay, cool.
The song that Pyro mentioned.
Okay, cool. I'll check that out after stream. So yeah, so that's kind of the story with that. Like I said, if you haven't seen the Patreon yet, please, like I said, you can go sign up for it. It's free. There's a free tier. You can sign up, and once you get in there, you can check out like everything about the game. There's like, I just did a post on the apartment stuff. There's a post on Ashton Mercer. So Ashton Mercer is the protagonist of the game. He, like I said, he was born here on Asakai in the Vartosa settlement. So he grew up here. This is kind of like, this is his place. And he's making his way. He's trying to get off of this planet. He doesn't want to be here no more. He went and worked with Blackwell Core for a while, until they shut down, so on and so forth. So
thanks, Pyro.
And there's some new stuff on there, some new story stuff. There's a few other cool things on there. Let me show you guys another patron. And this is a Dream Tier patron. So just keep that in mind. When I say Dream Tier, these are the people that come in and they're like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And you would get your own advertisement sign in the settlement. So each settlement will have advertisement signs. It'll have just all types of things around it, but you'll get your own advertisement in the settlement. So whatever you want on it, obviously up to my discretion. So, it's not going to be anything vulgar or anything, out of this world, but something that kind of, we can design it to make it fit the Riftwalker theme, but to your own,
or
like,
if it's a company logo.
Yeah,
like, you don't know,
company
like
logo,
that
whatever.
Might wanna
exactly.
Advertise, whatever it might be.
So, I mean, stuff like that. So that is available in the game. So there will be spaces available like that. There's also another tier that gives you the ability to have, like, your name, or like your gamer name, like, could be, involved in like a lore book that a player finds in a cave somewhere and your name's in it. Or it could be graffiti on the wall and it's your name. There's different things like that. I really want to do things that give players the ability to have some type of mark in the game, where then when people are playing it later on, they could be at their friend's house and be like, bro, my name is in that game. And they're like, what? No way. And he's like, no, check it out. And they go over to, like, the tombstones, or they go over to the graffiti on the wall. And it's like, dude, that's my gamer name. It's like, that's freaking cool, right? That's what I want to be able to do. I just think that that's so neat to be able to do something like that. Like, I just, like, to me, like that's what I would want if I was somebody who was, wanting to play a game, like, and you don't see that ever. You don't see it ever. Everyone just kind of, like, you don't even see, like, development of games. Like, for those of you guys that are watching this for the first time, I do all of this on stream, on Twitch. Like, everything that you see, if you go back to my VODs, you can roll through all my VODs and you can see where I've built everything that you see here. I've put everything together. I built everything that you see here on my stream. And a lot of people don't show that. You get very few people that show those things, but I love sharing my knowledge. I've been using the Unreal Engine for 25 years. I've worked in the industry. Mostly my career has been in the government industry and working and doing military simulators and stuff like that, but using the Unreal Engine. I've worked for big companies like Microsoft. I've worked for, a lot of different things. I've done a lot of different projects. I've worked on a lot of different things, and I have a vast amount of knowledge in the Unreal Engine. And I wanted to build something that I just thought would be fun and cool. And I love bounty hunters. I'm a huge Star Wars Galaxies fan. I played the hell out of Star Wars Galaxies, and I loved bounty hunters, and I loved the bounty hunting system. It was very just random, and it was out there, and it wasn't like super complicated, but it was a lot of fun. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something like that, and I wanted to create a storyline and make a world that people can get immersed to and fall in love with. That's really why I'm here doing this. Right, Gray? SWG for the win. Let's go. Let's go. Right? Yeah.
I miss Star Wars Galaxies. I haven't played that in forever.
I know, right? It's crazy. But yeah, that's kind of the whole background on the game and everything like that. And I'm going to open up the floor to questions now. If you guys have any questions about anything, feel free, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. But while we're doing that, I'm just going to fly around and show you guys, things. And actually today, I'm in the 5.5 version right now, but we actually upgraded it today to the 5.6 version. So I got to get into that and start looking around in that and looking at the new things, because it's got meta-humans built directly into it. And I don't know if you saw, but my player has a meta-human head on him. So what I did is I Frankensteined him. I took a skeletal mesh, another body skeletal mesh, and then I made a meta-human that I wanted, and I put it on a skeletal body. And obviously that's still rough, and I'll figure out as I go along more, what I want to do with it. But if you look right here, you can see it's a meta-human. If you tried UE4, how big of an upgrade is UE5? It's huge. It's huge. I've been using Unreal since 4.13. Back just before I went back into, but I've been using it even before any of those versions. I was using it way back in the day when it was a licensed engine that you could only get by license, and nobody could touch it unless you were a professional or it wasn't open to the indie game world. So UE4 is actually fantastic. UE 4.27, I want to say, was probably the most stable build of Unreal. I love Unreal, and UE 4.27 was amazing. But as we go into the future, UE5 gives us so many, UE5 above, I'll just say UE5X, gives us so many new features and abilities and just cool things to work with, like lighting. I mean, look at this. This is Lumen. This is Lumen working. I mean, I'm using Lumen, I'm using Nanite, I'm using everything that it has to offer. I'm using Lumen, I'm using Nanite, I'm using Megalights, I'm using meta-humans. Everything that they have to offer, I'm using. I'm using virtual shadow maps, just all that. Do I get an IRL bounty hunter suit if I do the bounty hunter tier in the... And how hard is it to fix performance issues? Because a lot of UE5 games, I mean, look at this. Look at my game. I'm showing you right now. I'm doing this solo. I'm not even a programmer. It really comes down to optimization, in my opinion, and just understanding the engine more. There's so much to the engine. So many games, when UE5 came out, they hopped directly on UE5, 5.1, 5.2. That was probably the biggest mistake a lot of games could have made, because a lot of games, when they make their game, they get out of blueprints and they go right into C++. And once you start changing C++, then all of a sudden you can't go away from that engine version unless you do a ton of work to do that. And so all my stuff is 100% blueprints. And to me, I have the ability to upgrade, when they keep coming out, depending on, what happens, I have the ability to keep upgrading those engines and taking advantage of those newest versions of the engines. It's 100% all about optimization. So what I've got for optimization right now, let me get out of here and I'll show you. So I'm using a few things. I'm using data layers to the best of my ability. I'm using data layers. I'm using world partition. So the whole entire world is done in world partition. So you can see all the world partition segments here. And I haven't even started baking with HLODs yet. Once I start baking with HLODs, it's going to get even more faster. And now that I've upgraded to 5.6, it's even going to get faster than it is now in 5.5. So with that being said, let me show you. So for instance, I have everything in data layers. And what I mean by that is it gives me the ability to turn things on and turn things off in runtime. And when I say turn things off and turn things on, so there's a difference. You can use calling volumes, and you can call out objects depending on the size it is, depending the distance it is from the camera, so on and so forth. But now, instead of calling objects out, you can use data layers, and you can completely unload them from the world. So they are no longer loaded in the game. They're completely unloaded, and you can load new things in instantly right on top of it. So like, for instance, let me show you. We can remove all of our TOSA. See? What does calling mean? So what calling does is calling basically removes the object from the scene, but it's still there. So it hides it. It becomes invisible, right? It still has its collision. It's still there. So if you were to leave that area and then hit F8 and then go back over there with a character, you'd still run into those objects because they exist in the world. But with data layers, when I unload them, they're no longer there. They don't exist in the world anymore. And what this gives you the ability to do is when you're in your apartment, I can unload the whole entire world above. And the way to make that work the best is I have this blueprints that I created, and they trickle load in things. So depending on where the player is, I can trickle load in pieces. So like, for instance, I have it broken down into many layers where if I unhide Vertosa here like this, let me unhide it first. Kind of like a loading area, like from back in the day, but they're really powerful. And so like, for instance, we'll use the marketplace as an instance. So we come over here, and let's say that the player is over here. Let's just say you can't get up here, but let's just say the player is standing right here, right? So when you stand right here, this is what you can see. So I'm gonna turn some lights on more so we can see more. Let's go here and let's turn this on to like 12 o'clock. Okay, so you can see that we can get the shape of the town here. We can see everything that's going on here. Now, once I do HLODs, it'll bake all this together and it'll be even better than it is now. But my point is what we're looking at right now is we're looking at this town. Well, currently we don't need, so if I go down here and I tie all the small objects into a data layer. So let's go over here, right here, let's say. So you can see all the objects in here that make up this marketplace. A lot of small objects, little odds and ends things, stuff like that. Even skeletal meshes. All these beasts are skeletal meshes, so they have animations on them, so on and so forth. So I can come in here in my data layers and I can go down to, and I have all this broken out. So currently I have 141 data layers on this particular planet, but there will be more as I go along because everything that I do goes into a data layer. So like, here's the market. So we can go to the market here and I can say we can remove all small items from the market. So you see now we have no small items in the market. It's completely gone. So when you're a distance away from this, you don't need any of this loaded. You don't need any particles loaded. You don't need any NPCs loaded. You don't need lights loaded. And then you don't need the skeletal beast loaded. None of that needs to be loaded. So this is currently what's loaded. Even if the player is right here, none of that needs to be loaded. So currently right now, we're gaining all that back. Now, as the player is moving like this, what we'll do is he'll run into a blueprint that surrounds this area, like right here, we'll say. And as he moves into that, it'll trickle load in everything. So it'll just load it in. And by the time the player gets there, everything's loaded in. But one of the big things that I've seen recently with data layers and people using them is they tend to do these chunk loading. They load a whole entire chunk in at one time, and it causes that hiccup that you see in games. You'll see somebody moving towards something, you'll get a small hiccup, and then you'll be playing it again. It's like everything's getting loaded in at one time. And with data layers, you're able to stream it in little by little by little. Basically, exactly what you said, Pyro. Yeah, that's exactly what you said. So yeah, that's the advantage. That's one of the advantages of it, and just performance in general. So in this game, there's nothing over 2K in textures. So every texture in this game is 2K. So there's nothing over it. There's no 4K textures. I don't see a reason for 4K textures personally, myself. I feel like if you're getting shot at, you don't have time to look at textures. So in that in itself really gives you a lot more when it comes to performance and game size. I noticed that a lot in Silent Hill 2 Remake. Yeah. There's a lot of things. And I think one of the biggest things is a lot of the games that you see coming out right now, A lot of them aren't made on these newer versions of the engine. They're made on literally the first versions of UE5. And I don't know if, anybody in here has ever played with the first versions of UE5, 5.1, 5.2. They're horrible. They started really getting a lot better in like 5.4 up from there, in my opinion. But they just keep getting better. But I mean, you got to also remember too, like, when 5 came out, they told everyone, don't make a product on this part. This is experimental. But some people are like, I don't care. We want it in 5. And they made it in 5. And it's like, now all of a sudden when they deliver it 3 years later or 2 years, whatever it took them, it's like they have to go through so many different hoops to make it run good. I think devs using 4K textures is pretty weird. I agree. I couldn't agree more. I 100% couldn't agree more. I think it's such a waste of space, and I think it's not needed, because you can do so much without it. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, look at the detail that we have, and we're not using 4Ks. Look at the detail that we still have, and I'm not using 4K. Now, if you get down here, any player that gets this far, I mean, that's their own fault, for going down this far. But from here, as the player's walking, you can't tell anything. And to me, I think that's huge.
But that's what you've always been really good at, is going in, and helping teams, helping studios optimize their stuff to get it ready to ship. You've always been really good at that. And
yeah, I know.
That's one of your expertise, of like being able to make it look really cool without affecting the performance.
You're right. Exactly right. That's exactly what it is. I mean, but to me, like, I'm such a stickler when it comes to performance.
So anybody that's watching, if you're a studio and you're looking for somebody.
Exactly. That's my wife, everyone. Say hello to my wife. She's amazing. But yeah, so that's it. And like, I feel a lot more validated with my So yeah, so that's kind of the gist of it. That's kind of where it is right now. Like I said, this is the first planet. This is the first of 7 planets. So obviously there will be more planets after this. And if you look, there is a tier on the Patreon. Once again, it's a dream tier. And when I say dream tier, actually this one's a legacy tier, if I'm not mistaken. Right, babe? This is a legacy tier, right? The architect.
What are we talking about? I don't even know what we're talking about.
Architect.
Right
the architect tier.
No, that's like the...
It's a legacy, right? Hold on, let me go look.
The architect?
Yeah,
dude, the architect is the highest tier.
Yeah, it says legacy tier. Rift architect. So let me explain that to you. On top of where it says Rift architect, on it says legacy tier.
Where are you looking at? Oh, sorry.
On our Patreon.
Yes. That's the high. Sorry, I thought that meant it was below the dream tier. Yeah.
No. It's
Ignore
not below it. So with the Rift architect tier, like I said, you guys, it's one of those out there tiers, but I've seen people do these before. This will give you the ability to name a settlement on so basically there's 5 settlements that are available for naming, and it'll give you the ability to name one of those settlements on one of those planets and sit down with me and design how we want it to feel and how we want it to look and how we want it to work. Cuts the router cords. Do I have a router? I don't know if I have. Yeah, I do. You're right. Why do you cut the cords, Lord? My gosh. This guy, he's always in here trying to stop the streams, but yet he's always in the streams. But yeah, the Rift architect.
Cause chaos. That's why.
Yeah, he does all the time. All the time, Lord. I love you for that. So, yeah, that's that particular one. What was the other one? There was the bounty hunter. The bounty hunter is currently our most popular right now. Everyone wants a tombstone with a epitaph on it, which is so cool.
And they've been either choosing where they want something in, memory of someone, or they want it to be a funny one.
Yeah.
It's super cool that there's been,
Yeah, I agree. So going back to Old Gen Gamer. So yes, Lumen can get very weird. Honestly, if you, and I'm not trying to like, you know, talk about anybody, but if you don't know what you're doing with Lumen, it can get super weird. You need to really figure out like the odds and ends of Lumen and how it works performance wise, how it works just all around. One of the biggest mistakes that I see that people do with Lumen is they blow emissives. Like they're emissives, they rely on the emissive to light the scene. And the problem with that is somebody doesn't have a good enough video card and they have to bring the quality back down to like a high or a medium, I think it is. Lumen gets shut off and it becomes like just regular lighting. So you got to really think about those things when you're doing stuff. So when I light things, that's why I'm using mega lights. But when I light things, we'll go down here and I'll show you. One of the things that I do is I really concentrate on emissives. And I look at emissives themselves and I make sure you don't get the dancing lights anywhere in here. So if you look, you can see that we're not getting any real dancing lights anywhere with the emissives. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen. Like even these are a little too bright for my liking, but I haven't brought them down yet. And you can see right here, if we get close enough, you can see it, but far away, you can't see it. So the player's never going to get that close unless they jump up there. And if they do, that's their problem. But like, there's just a lot of different mistakes that you can make with Lumen, in my opinion. So what are the dancing lights here? Let me show you. Was bad with emissives? So like right here, this is dancing lights. Not this one down here, I think it was right here. So if we get back, you see that right there? See how that's moving around and it's like dancing? Those are dancing lights. So this right here just needs to be brought down some. And one of the things what's crazy is the emissive power on this. Let me see what the emissive power is just on this particular one. So we have a source radius there. Let me go pull up its lamp. Let's go into here. Let's look at its instance. I think it's super down too. It is, yeah, so it's at a 1. So we could probably take this down to like a 0.5. Watch. So I'm going to take it down to a 0.5, and then we're going to take its color emissive down a little bit. And let's do this here. Let's bring it down. So I'm going to bring it down there. And then what we're going to do is grab the light itself, and we're going to adjust the light itself from 20 to 10. And then we'll bring this down here. So you can see we can bring it down like this and see how we're clearing up the dancing light now. And the thing is that right now, I'm not going to mess with it like this. We're going to go back up here and we'll just do it like this here. And what we're going to do is just pull this down to a darker, just where we not get the dancing lights. Because you don't really need a lot of that there. Now watch. See, we still get the light. We still get the light over here. We still get the light there. It's not super bright everywhere. How do you feel about being like a clutch for bad optimization? Wait, how do I feel about what being a clutch for bad optimization? I don't really understand any game design, but this is very impressive you're doing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, DLSS? Oh. Oh, I have my thoughts. That's all I'm going to say is I have my thoughts. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you can see right here, like, you know, obvious is obvious. You can see the difference between the two now. So there's a huge difference. And if you like, you know, if it doesn't bother you that much, then don't even worry about it. But some of it can get too outrageous, in my opinion. Let's get out of that. Let's go back. Let's get out of all that. Okay. And we're just going to leave it like that for now. But that's one of the biggest things I think with lighting, especially, and then out here, even lighting the world itself, right? You light it in lumens. And usually what I do when I'm lighting it is I light it on a lumen scale. And one of the things I try to do is just balance shadows between light. And then the other thing too is actually making the light look good in a 24-hour cycle. So if we do this and we take it down.
I think that's what like your expertise is, like the lighting and the world design.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Like
so
you've always been very good with that.
Here's a 24-hour cycle here. So this is nighttime lighting here. So you want nighttime lighting to feel good. I'm not really big on bright nighttime lighting. I think bright nighttime lighting is stupid, but that's just me. I made it so where we could do stuff like this. So I could close this if I need to close this off. And then we have, you know, obviously a lot darker lighting depending on the phase of the moon itself. But you can see here, just this back here and the sky and the planets really standing out.
But I think that's more realistic, you know? Like,
Yeah.
We're not going to have a bunch of lighting.
No, but a lot of games, bright light. They do a lot of really bright light at nighttime because a lot of players complain about it. And so,
Yeah.
but that's why I did this. That's why I have this on the player. I gave the player like a personal like light that they can use, you know, in different situations and stuff like that, that just kind of lights up the area that they're around. No, they're not annoying at all, man. At all. At all. Not even in the slightest. So like right here, see, we can turn this on and you've got a personal light. Now I don't have the model on it right now. I have it hidden, but you can see the personal light on the player here. So that's how that works. So I just made it so like, you know, in different situations, wherever you're at, you know, you can. And it doesn't light up a lot of stuff. It just lights up your general like area around you. I think it's just enough. Here, let's change the player real fast here so you guys can see. Let's change the player out. All right, so we'll use this guy because he has a backpack and he has that. Does he have a light too? Oh no, I have it hidden. Okay. So now if we go back now, but you can see even like right here, even at nighttime, like just at nighttime, how it feels here. Too much light kind of squishes the atmosphere a bit. I agree. I completely agree. It's not even a bit. Honestly, it does squish the atmosphere. Like right now, you've got this kind of silhouette of the player, and you look what's more prominent in here right now. And I just think it looks good,
Such
personally.
a cool picture.
Like,
yeah, looks really cool.
like look at that. Like, look at that right there. Just that silhouette of the player. And you can see that right there. Like, I love that. And now if we go back and we do this, we go back in it again. Let's go back again. And let's change the... So let's go like this. Let's go back and change this again. And let's go here and go like this. And then we can light it more here. Now, this is like super light in my opinion, but how would you explain that bright ass moon that's above everything? This is how you explain it right here. So now you can see it's not super bright, but it's bright enough. So yeah, you're going to be able to see a lot more now, but this is the full moon itself. So when you play through like moon phases and stuff like that, if I get a planet, I will make it the most peaceful planet ever, filled with Chewy everywhere. Fantastic. That's fantastic, Sarge. Fantastic.
Sarge.
Yeah, Pyro, there's going to be a full day and night cycle.
Sarge
And depending on depending on the planet that you're on, it could be a lot longer. Like for instance, I can go in and I can create a actual day and night, a 24-minute day and night. Just let's go down here and let's just say, where's it at? Right here, I can animate time of day and we can do a 12-minute day and a 12-minute night right here, a total of 24 minutes. And then we can just start it out at 7 in the morning like this. And then we can watch it happen in front of our eyes. But it's a 12-minute day and night cycle. I can make that a 1-minute day and night cycle, and you can see that too. But the 12-minute, the reason why we do the 12-minute is because you want to see it gradually work. You don't want to see it just kind of all at one time. You just want to feel how it works like this here. And you can see it coming up. Most games do a 24-minute day and night cycle together. But
Noah says that's wallpaper worthy. This nighttime is great.
oh, Noah, I have. Noah, are you on the Patreon yet? I have some wallpapers that I'm getting ready to put up there for Patreon only.
He's all self-taught, Noah. I think you did one.
Yeah, the only time I went to school was I went to a place called CGMA for a master's class in world design. I wanted to become a master in world design. And I got taught by the guy who did all this stuff for like all the new Jedi games. So he was our instructor. That's the only time I've ever went to any school.
Like what? Like
that was during COVID. No, that was a couple months. That was during COVID.
Was it a couple months? Okay.
Yeah, it was during COVID. So yeah, no, when you were watching us do Minecraft stuff, this is what I did on the side.
How much programming knowledge do you need to make something like this?
I don't think a lot, to be honest. There's so many tutorials and things that are available out of here. And one of the biggest things, and I can't stress this enough, is that take advantage of, I like to call it the marketplace because it'll always be the marketplace in my heart, the Unreal Marketplace, but it's called Fab now. Take advantage of what they have, because there's a lot of great things out there and people down it so much, but there's so many things out there that you can use to your advantage, and you can, you know, obviously learn from it, reverse engineer it, and you can do a lot of things with it. Like, it's like, I'm a firm believer in not reinventing the wheel. I don't have the ability to reinvent a wheel. I'd rather go buy a wheel that's already been made and then make it into my wheel. So I'll make it, instead of making it black, we make it purple. That's my wheel.
Night Z.
Night Z, love you, dude. I mean, yeah, you can get into something called tutorial hell, but there's a lot of good stuff out there. Even Epic Games, they really provide like a lot of stuff for the Unreal Engine. A lot of free like frameworks, just different things that you can learn from. But I've learned so much
just by watching, and I'll say this just because, no, not because you're my husband, but I'm gonna tell you right now that there are so many people that, you know, Ethan is so knowledgeable. Ethan, aka Luclin, is so knowledgeable in this engine and so knowledgeable in this industry. And I think it's so cool that he's able to come on here every day and teach people about his knowledge. And I just, it's awesome because you know, you can't get this free anywhere. Like, you can't. Most people pay to see people do this. So yeah. I think it's awesome, babe, that you do this. And I think it's so cool that you are so willing to come on here and teach other people and talk about your passion and your dream. And, you know, it's me as your wife. I'm proud of you because I know that, you know, most times it costs to be talking to somebody like this, and it costs to be seeing somebody do this all the time.
Yeah.
And that's just you, though. That's how the person that you are. You are just like so caring, so selfless. And I think you're amazing. I
love teaching too. I love passing on that knowledge. Because what's it do? It doesn't do me any good. It just makes things much better, in my opinion. It's like there's so many people that just hold it in and they don't share anything. And it's like, to me, it's like, okay, cool. I'd rather somebody like, you know, succeed and somebody just, yeah, it's really frustrating to me that a lot of people don't.
Well, I think it's the mentality, and, you know, here we go. We're going to go towards a Love and Chaos podcast, but that's okay because that's who we are. All right.
Yeah.
And if you don't know about the Love and Chaos podcast, we do that every Tuesday, 8 p.m. here on this channel. We get real, we get emotional, and we talk about just life and things that we've been through and things that people have gone through. But I do want to say that, oh my goodness, I just literally lost my train of thought.
You're going to say something.
I know. I was ready for it too.
I know you were. You were so ready for it.
It just literally went out. It literally went out the window. Oh, no. So what I want to say is that, you know, it's frustrating to me because there's so many people, especially in this industry, any industry in the world, okay, that are so selfish with their talents. They don't share it with other people, right? Yeah, I am. I'm thinking about the tacos that I'm about to make. So you're right. You're right, Double. But it is true. Like, there's so many times that you come across people, right? And they want to keep their little secrets all to themselves. They want to keep their talent to themselves. They don't want to share it because if they share it, then, you know, then other people are going to be talented and other people are going to go and succeed. But that's the thing that I love most about you and what you do, because you don't care about that. What you care most is about people, and you care most about just relationships and sharing your knowledge and just being just an overall amazing human. And I'm sorry I'm like going off on like tangent over here, but it's true. It's so true. And actually, this is going to go into what we're going to be talking about tomorrow night's podcast. A little bit, but yeah. Anyways, I'm over here hijacking.
It's all right, babe. Don't even worry about it. You're good.
Podcast.
It's all good, honey. It's all good. So yeah, you guys, that was the type of that was the stuff that we worked on last week. We worked on the apartment, getting the apartments, getting them set up, figuring out the best thing for it. Because my plan going into it was I want to make an apartment. And so what I did is I started, messing around with BSPs. And then once I got what I wanted, the shape and the feel of the hull that I wanted, then I started taking the BSPs and I crushed them down into static meshes. Then I brought them in here. And then I started just sprinkling static meshes everywhere. And the first iteration was this here. This was what I got. And then I started getting the idea. I was like, oh, it'd be cool if this thing was like grew with you. Like this thing grew with you and just kind of evolved as you evolved as a player. And I was like, okay, well, the best way I could do this, hey, Erica, welcome. Good to see you. The best way I could do this is, okay, I need to have some type of introduction quest line to give this to you, right? So I thought about it. Okay, we'll have some squatters that are in here and you got to take them out. You take them out and the landlord is so happy that you took them out that he gave you the ability to live here rent free and you can use it as a dwelling and fix it up however you want. No, so it's not that in-depth. It's not like a survival game where you can move things around and place them. These are set. So what's going to happen is this will be your first one here because, once again, that's a system in itself, and the game is really not about that. The game is more about the reason why this exists is because of the amenities that are going to help your gameplay in the future. That's the reason why this is here. This will help intensify your gameplay and make it better in the future. As you start going through the game and, finding yourself going into the void, which is another dimension and things like that. But what's going to happen is the initial one is going to look like this. It's going to be this kind of rundown feeling, junk all over the place type of area. And then once you get this back from the squatters, you will get yourself a bedroll, which is on the floor here, a pillow, a little green neon lantern, a locker, and a chest. The locker will be to change your outfits, and then the chest is going to have like where you can store loot and stuff. Very small storage, but enough storage to store some things. And then the bed's going to give you what's called it's basically a small rested bonus. That's it. It's a very small one, but you'll get one. And then as you progress in the game, and as you go further in the game, what's going to happen is that this whole entire apartment is going to evolve with you. So you're going to have different amenities that'll unlock. So what will happen is I'll have 5 different versions of it. So currently right now I have 2. I have the first version and the fifth and the last version. And in between these 3 versions right here will be basically this accumulation of these 2 here. And I'll take this and I'll go in and then we will basically make the kitchen come alive right here. All this will still be the same. You'll have a kitchen. And then your bed will move into a different area. You'll have a bed over here, so on and so forth. Things will just kind of move around depending on it. And the way that I use data layers is going to give me the ability to load and unload these on the fly. So you see there's 5 of them here. When the character first starts, the only one that'll be loaded in the world is this one here, right there. All these will be gone. This will be just an access area. It'll have some bad guys in it, some squatters. You take them out, so on and so forth. This becomes your thing. As you progress in the game, you'll progress in the game and you'll get to another certain quest line in the storyline. And all of a sudden you'll get maybe something new. You'll have the ability there'll be a quest tied to this where, you got to go to a bandit camp and you got to get something from this bandit camp. You got to go to this bandit camp and get something from there. Once you bring all the 3 items back, it'll unlock a kitchen inside of your apartment. So then you'll have a new area that you can go into and now you can start making buff food. So out in the world, in the different planets and in the void and stuff like that, you're going to find like resources like plants, you'll find minerals, you'll find creatures, things that you can capture and you can sell at the any of the marketplaces or bazaars. So what's going to happen is you'll be able to have that kitchen open and you'll be able to take different ingredients and combine them together and create buff food, right? So that's kind of the thought of it, how it's going to work. And then those foods will give you different things, like you can run faster, jump higher. You might have more stamina, so you could sprint longer. You might have, maybe some type of night vision that lets you like see like full night vision at nighttime, different things like that, just things that are going to help your gameplay. And that's the first version of it. Then as you progress more and more and more, you'll progress again, and then you'll unlock like a lounge, and that lounge gives you the ability to have a you'll get different buffs from that too. And the reason why there's just these different buffs, and they, you could have well rested, you could have a food buff, you can have these different buffs, and they give you the ability to have different outcomes when it comes to playing the game. Will new players have a tutorial phase? Will be learn as you go? I haven't thought about that yet, Webb. I haven't even thought about like new player game yet, but what I want to do is introduce them through quest lines. So like in the very beginning, one of the early quest lines you're going to get is you're going to get a quest line that's going to take you. I want to make it so it takes the player all around the first map. You have no way to do it but walk. You can walk and run to these different areas in the world in this particular map. So you'll go to like a bandit camp that's over here. You'll go to an abandoned cave that might be over here. You'll go to something that might be over here. And what it's going to do is it's going to be your first quest to build your bike. So you'll get a really shitty bike, we'll say, and it's not super fast, and it just gets you from point A to point B. Doesn't say it gets you there fast, but it gets you from point A to point B. It gives you another means of transportation than running. And so once you get that, you're able to kind of do some exploring around this particular planet and figure things out. So when you do that, you get the ability you'll have these like lower end quests that introduce you into gameplay. So that kind of introduces you into, all of a sudden you're thrown out into the world and you're exploring. You're going places that you shouldn't go. You're going places that you can go, and you may discover some things while you're out there. You may get, find a wrecked ship or like anything that you might be able to loot something out there. And that'll get the player really saying, ooh, I wonder what else is out there. What is out there? Is there anything hidden out there? Then that automatically gets them going in the direction of exploration and discovery. Basically, just make them, yeah, exactly. But yeah, Webb, it won't be like a tutorial phase. It'll just be an easier quest line. Now, keep this in mind. Are you more of a show and not tell tutorial wise, or tell and not show person? I just learn better with showing, not telling in games. I get information overload in tutorials. No, I don't like tutorials. I don't like handheld tutorials. I feel like when you're put into this world, you'll have certain things you can do, and you'll have free roam. You literally have free will to go where you want out in the outer wilds and in this area here. You'll be able to do what you want. Depending on if you decide to go up a trail somewhere and there's a bandit camp with elite bandits, you better run your ass out of there. They're going to kill you. So like, there's going to be different ways of doing it. It's kind of learn by doing. Think about that way. It's learn by doing. It's very simple gameplay. It's going to be, I run around, I can jump, I can shoot with a weapon, I can pull a weapon out, I can shoot a weapon, I can throw a grenade, I can do these different things. There's nothing crazy. The only crazy thing that'll be in the game is a skill system. And the skill system is just for make you do better things, make you be, different things that you'll be able to do in in the void, like just different things like that. So there will be a skill system that lets you do those things. Hold on. So let's see what Shrill said. You just get thrown in the desert once you turn 18. Your parents just throw you out. Yeah, that's basically what happens. Clothes on your back and you have to fight yourself. No hand holding. Exactly what Shrill said. So will there be classes and weapons locked by character or a level system? There will be a progression system. I don't want to call it a level system. So you're going to be able to, as you get the skills, you'll have the ability to, get more HP or more stamina, more, be able to spend more time in the void. You'll be able to, have different abilities. Like for instance, let me show you guys something. Let me show you a small system real quick. It's really small. It's very rudimentary, but it works. So let me show you guys this. So if we come here, let me open up, let's go here. And then let me open up the character stuff so you guys can see the character system stuff. And it's very, like I said, rudimentary, but you can get an idea. So these are character templates here. Each one of these are. And I have the ability to create as many of these as I want. And what happens is I can load these on the fly in the game, and then I can give them abilities and take abilities away depending on the skin that's being loaded. And the way that you're going to get a lot of these skins, a lot of these are bosses that you're going to fight, and you will gain their appearance. So you'll gain the outfit that they're wearing if you kill that particular boss in a fight. So that's how that's going to work. There's not going to be any microtransactions, none of that bullshit. You're literally just going to be able to make this and do this in game. That's it. So now right here, no, it's just single player. It is not co-op. It's just single player. It's a single player game. It's a single player storyline, and it's you against the world. No, there's no Fortnite battle pass. No, nothing. So let me show you guys how this works though. Okay, so right now, if you look, this is who we're starting off with. We're starting with this starter character, right? This starter character literally just has the starter name. It has his skin class here. And then right here, we have 3 different things that I can now activate if I want to. So what we're going to do is we're going to say Blackwell Core. So we'll use Blackwell Core. So Blackwell Core has nothing. So we're going to give him is boost jump active. So this means that he's able to boost jump. Right here has bionic legs. This means that he'll take minimal fall damage. And then right here does show boost pack. So this will basically give him everything that we just did right there. But what I want to do is uncheck it first and show you what it looks like before we do it, and then show you what it looks like after, just so you can see how easy it is. And what I can do is put flags on that with quest lines. So we're going to start it first, and I'll show you the skin. And then we're going to come back out and we're going to do it again so you can see. All right, so you can see how he starts out with nothing here, right? So he doesn't have anything. So we're going to roll through it. All right, so look at this skin right here, right? So this skin, basically this is what he has on. So he has nothing, right? So we're going to go back out of it again. We're going to go here, and then we're going to flip these switches here. Just like that. We're going to go back into it again. So let's save it. Hold on. Let me save it. And let's do... go like that, and let's go here. Okay, now watch. So we're going to change out the skin. Now you see how he has got a backpack? So now he has the ability to boost jump. Before he didn't have anything. So we can do stuff like this. We can flag things like this, right? And flag them on quest lines. So yeah, so that's how we would do it. We could just flip those on and off like a switch right here. And so there will be a lot more here when the days come. Like there will be a lot more things that'll be on here. Like, you know, the player will have like, you know, a personal light, or they'll be able to use grenades. They'll be able to use like different things depending on your special, like, you know, whatever you do in your skill sets and stuff like that. There's not going to necessarily be classes. I don't want to say there's going to be classes, because there's not. It's just going to be you and kind of like your skill sets. We'll say skill sets, something like that. Now I have, if you're not aware, on the Patreon, I have longer videos on the Patreon of stuff. If you haven't seen it, like I said. So we also have them on here too. Let me see if I can pull one up. Like, it's not super long, but there's like, yeah, it's light RPG elements. It's open world light RPG element. Yes. But really the storyline is really what's going to drive it. The side quests are going to drive it. So let me give you guys an example of a side quest, or a quest that could tie into a main storyline later on. There's different ways that it's going to happen. But like, for instance, in the marketplace, let's say that there's a merchant in the marketplace. Oh, I was going to continue showing you guys the data stuff too. Let me show you that real quick. Remember how we hit all the small items? Well, we can go in here in the data layers, and we can say large items. So we can completely remove the market here, right? So when the player's right here, the market does not need to be relevant. And so we can completely hide it if the player's right here. You're thinking more Breath of the Wild? Ah, yeah. Something like that. I mean, once again, I'm one dude. making this. I'm one guy making this whole thing, so I can't let it bloat too much. I gotta really like keep it under control because I have like the majority of all the systems. The one things that I don't currently have right now, I have a rudimentary inventory system in. I have a quest system in, so I already have a quest system in that ties into the inventory and all that stuff. But the one things that I really need to put in now is the skill system needs to be put in. That's a big one. Other than that, like all the combat stuff's in. Yeah, all that stuff's in. One man in a mission, right? Exactly. But yeah, here. For those of you guys that are coming in right now, let me show you guys the quick trailer. It's a 1 and 10 second trailer. I'm going to play it real fast so you guys can see it because there's probably some of you guys that are in here that have never seen it. It can be daunting. It can be very daunting. But like, I mean, I'm pretty confident in my abilities. I've been doing it for so long and I just love designing worlds. I love bringing things to life, just immersing people into the creations that I make. I'm going to play this trailer for you guys real quick so I can check on my wife. All right, here's the trailer, you guys. I'm going to play it real fast. Actually, let me see what this one has in it. Actually, we'll play this one. I'll play this one. It has a few different ones on it you guys can watch. Let's go here and do this one. I'll be back. Hang tight. guys. I'm back. Yeah, a lot of these videos are on the Patreon. So if you guys sign up, go on over there, sign up. You get a shout out on stream. It'll show. I haven't necessarily built other games. I've been a part of a lot of other games. And the majority of all my stuff, Noah, has really been more in the government and military side. And this game I've been working on for about 5 months, give or take 5 months. I started in July of last year, went up until November, and then started back up in, like, I think May, June, July, something like that. About 5 months, 5-6 months at the most. And everything that you see has all been done on stream. So you could literally go back in my VODs and you can see it's all on stream. I love world building. My favorite game is Mother 3 because of the world and characters. I think it's a masterclass in that. I always wanted to learn more about how to do that aspect. Mother 3? Hold on. Mother 3. Let's see. Mother 3 reminds me of like a Stardew Valley game. It looks very Stardew Valley-ish. I've never played it. Earthbound? Oh, okay. If you heard of Earthbound, it's the sequel. Got it. I've never played it before, but I see it. I did look it up. Yeah, so I don't know how deep it actually really goes then. I've never really, like I said, seen it. The Moon RPG Remix? Moon RPG Remix. Let's see. Moon RPG Remix. It's an anti-RPG. Interesting.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back, honey. You all right?
Thanks. Yeah, I'm okay.
I remember I got a Game Boy Advance just for Mother 3. I've never even heard of it, to be honest. I know that's going to suck, but I've never heard of it, Mother 3. So now the next thing that I'm going to be working on next will be finishing out the other 3 versions of the apartment and then creating a rudimentary apartment system. So basically where it will say like here, it'll have a start out of just apartment 1 and it'll have a check mark. And then obviously there will be on the save file, depending on where it's at, you know, it'll unlock the different apartments depending on your quest line and what you do. That's going to be the plan. That's the plan. And then the other big thing that I'm going to be working on that I got to do is work on other bandit camps. Because currently right now we have 2 bandit camps. Oh, it's kind of like Undertale. That's cool. So we have this bandit camp here, right? So let me go here. Let's do this. You're good, right, babe?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. So we have that bandit camp there. Oh, it's what inspired it? Oh, really? Okay. Here, let me show you this area over here. This is Dusthold Station. I was going to show you this before. This is Dusthold Station. We can actually go in here. Let me just drop down here so you can see it. For those of you guys that are in here right now, let's just drop in here and see it.
This is where the
What?
place that Ashton used to always go to.
This is one of those areas. Yeah, this is the one. This is like the one out in the middle of the desert, out in the middle of the outer wilds. But this one here, like if we go in here. Oh, duh. It's not loaded. I gotta load it. You can see it here, you guys. It's not loaded in game. I have it unloaded in game, but I have it loaded in editor right here. So you can see what it looks like here. Let me load it real fast and then we'll go into it. So that's what I mean. That's what's cool about data layers is we can just load it and unload it. So let's go to here. We're going to unload all of Vartosa. Let's unload all of Vartosa here. And then let's do this here, there, and then we'll just go over here and we'll activate it right here. And we want to make sure that this gets, so we have everything there. That's good. That's good. So let's activate the whole thing. So now it's activated. So now we should be able to go in here and it will exist below us. Everything in here will exist. The cave system will exist, everything. So you can see, let's go through here, and you can see all the rocks are completely gone. There's no world rocks anywhere. Everything's unloaded right now. So we'll go in. Am I not loading this correctly? 1 second. Do I not load your parent? Who's your parent? Okay, you're loaded. Active. Active. Where's the interior? Activated. Oh, you know what? I think it doesn't do these. It doesn't. We have to do, okay, so we have to do all the subs ourselves. So let's do that again. Let's go all the way down to here. There we go. Now let's load it all. Active. All right, so now it's activated. Go back again. As you can see, it exists. It's right there. We're literally inside of it. But if we don't have it activated, it won't activate. You can activate the parents, but if the children aren't active either, it won't work. Victoria, are you still here? All right, let's go like this. And then go inside. Now you can see the interior. There's the interior. And so this is just an old, this is an old abandoned way station, kind of like halfway area type thing, but it's been taken over by marauders, and you'll see why. There's a whole cave system underneath it here. Come down here, you can see there's a whole cave system in here. Hey babe, are you there?
Yeah.
Are you able to message Victoria? Because
Victoria's not in no more.
oh no, okay.
No.
Because I wanna do that. I'm gonna do that for the next time I'm on stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see this is all underneath here, so it's all inside of that black box right there. And the reason why I do this, the reason why I teleport the player from, point A to point B, is I'm able to put them down there and then shut off the whole entire world above. And it makes the performance so much better. You can remove everything, take everything away. So yeah, so that's kind of, oh wait, one more bandit camp. Let me show you the other bandit camp. So that's what I was gonna say, like things to come, I need to finish out the bandit camps. We need to have 10 total bandit camps, small ones, and then three large camps, 3 large marauder camps. Because there's different factions and stuff like that, and I'm not spoiling it here, but on the Patreon, I've started putting out things that will, lean into the story and lean into the factions, and we'll start doing one-pagers on all the factions, and you can kind of understand, what they're going to look like, what they, why they're here, their aggressiveness, stuff like that. And you can see, this is another bandit camp here. This one's out there back in the woods. And this was an old abandoned communications facility. So if we go, I'm getting all mixed up, this way, back this way, Whee! There it is. So let me show you something about this area right here, just so you can understand the void. So if you look right here, and you look over here, you'll see this door back here. Well, this door is sealed shut. They can't get into this, so they just piled all their junk in front of it, and they turned this area into kind of like a scrapyard. The bandits did. So one of the things with this area, though, is that, and this is another system that you guys haven't really seen yet. Actually, we got to load everything. Let me unload and load everything real fast. That's the one thing about this currently right now, where I'm just unloading and loading things on the fly. So let's do this. Let's go back into here and let's go unloaded. There we go. We can just do that here. And then let's go remove this. Remove that. Remove that. And then we want the bandit camp small. So we just want this bandit camp back here. So let's go here. Grab this to there. And then let's go ahead and activate it. So that should be activated. We got to make sure that the parent is active, right? It says it's loaded, but we're going to go ahead and activate it. So this we can unload completely. And all this will be done in blueprints. So let's unload this so it doesn't appear. All right, we should be good there. And then we just need to load the rocks in. The rocks are the big one that we got to load in. So let's load that. Loaded. Let's activate it. Okay, we should be good now. So now let's go ahead and start it right here. And do we need to load up? Yeah, let's load up the void items too real fast. Let's go void. Yeah, this game will be on Steam when it's ready. Yeah, when it's released. That's the primary. It'll be on Steam. Now, depending on, you know, how the future goes, who knows where it could go? You know, I have no idea yet, but we'll see. All right, so let's see. There's that there. And let's go. Vartosa is the one we want. We want to make sure it's activated.
So what he's really trying to say is that if you're a studio or an investor, or if you just want to support,
exactly. Please do.
Please reach out.
So let's go like this. Undo all of this. I think we have to go, yeah. Let's go like that. And then what we want to keep active only is just Vartosa. Nothing else. Because that's the parent, and then here's the child here. So let's get the child, and then let's get all the rest of them here and make sure they are activated. Okay, so you can see here, see these islands that appeared right here? These only appear in the void. So I'm about to show you that little mechanic. There's other areas already in the game that have a lot of secrets in them tied to the void itself. And then we got to get a character that has double jump and a jetpack. Because you don't start out with that in game. You kind of just start out as just this kind of dude that, and if you look, you can actually see the logo that I put on the jacket there. And then he's got his information on this side of the jacket here, because this is a jacket that he got from when he worked at Blackwell Core. Okay, so now we're gonna change him out. Let's go to, we'll go with this guy here. And then what we're gonna do is back here. If you look up there, you don't see anything. But if we go in the void, you now see those islands up there, right? So those islands only exist in the void. Remember what I talked about the void and the debuff and stuff like that? Now the debuff stuff's not in yet, but we're inside of the void. We're in a different realm, but we're in the same world that we live in, but it's a different realm. It's kind of a parallel to our world. Yeah. Get over here. So, damn it. Gotta get back. Yeah, so this is a really unique aspect of the game. Now, this is just your regular parkour type stuff. So just keep that in mind. This is your regular parkour stuff. That's why you have this jetpack, this boost pack that gets you from point A to point B. So we're gonna go like this. Here. Damn it! Can't even do my own parkour. But what's gonna happen is once you get up these and you get up there, you're able to get to the top of that building up there, which you wouldn't be able to reach outside of this area, outside of this realm, right? So, all right, now let's do a run jump. I gotta do a run jump, so I gotta start back here, because this is a tricky one. There we go. All right, now, here, and then here, and now watch. Once we get up here like this, and we get out of the void, you can see that they're completely gone. Now what you're able to do here is there's going to be a hacking system. You'll be able to hack a box right here, and you can actually hack the box with your drone too. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you access to that area right down there, and you're going to actually be able to go into this communications facility. So the void will not have a time limit.
I would at least say what the questions are out loud, because when you rerun this, they're not going to know.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. So basically you said, I really like the aspect of the game. It's unique. And then you said, will the void mode have a time limit on it? Or can you go back and forth at will? So you can and you can't. The void is going to have a cost to it. And the cost is going to be souls. So you're gonna have to basically kill people in order to go back and forth through the void. Now, depending on how you do it and where you do it, that all depends on, what happens. So, but that's how you're gonna be able to end up doing it. But the void itself will have limitations. You have to have the currency in order to go into the void. And there's a whole storyline of even how you even got to go to be able to get that ability. And that's a huge storyline that I'm not going to spoil, because that's a huge part of the beginning of the game. But yeah, that'll work like that. And you're able to like hack the boxes up here. And then once you hack the boxes, then you're able to go into that door down there. And then that'll bring into another quest line. Now, this will also be accessible another way. So you might find somebody out in the wild somewhere that wants you to do a quest line for them. And after you do that quest line, they give you a key code to get into this. Like, there's so many different ways that you can do it. But one of the biggest things in the game is you don't have to use the void. I want to do an achievement where there's a no void run. And basically you do the whole entire game without using the void. And it's going to be hard, really hard, because the void, you can just bypass things. You don't even have to like do anything. You can literally bypass alarms systems, bypass cameras. You can bypass NPCs. They can't see you in the void. Now, there are also creatures in the void. So the more you use the void, the more the void gets mad at you. So that's kind of that.
See, I think that's kind of cool though, because that's for like for people that have already beat the game and already did end game stuff.
Exactly.
It's like, what are they going to do now? Oh, I can go through and do the entire thing without going through the void. Like, I think that it'll be a whole nother experience.
Oh no doubt, babe. Like, for sure. Hold on, let me go. I'm going to show real fast, and then we're going to get out of here, but I'm going to show you guys this real fast, you guys. I don't want to save anything because we currently are working on the 5.6 version, so I don't want to do anything in here that's going to do any saves. So I want to work on the 5.6 version. Okay, so what I'm going to show you guys right here is we come like this, and you can see there's creatures. There's a creature here. There's creatures here. So these are all void creatures. And then over here, this is one of my testing grounds. So this has security cameras right here, and it has NPCs. So as soon as I cross that threshold right there, the alarms will go off and the NPCs will get triggered and they'll try to kill me. Now, we're going to do it.
Are you just now showing them where all the things are going to be?
No, baby, this is just my test world. Oh. This is how I test all the systems.
I'm just making sure you're not ruining like the big boss or something like that. No. Hey, this is where he spawns.
No way. No, baby, not at all. Not at all. All right, so we go like this, you guys, and I come up to this threshold right here, right? They're going to wreck me, but I'm going to do it anyways. So watch. So now the camera's going off. They're coming out here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually go into the void. So give it a moment. And you're going to see that See how they can't see us anymore? Now watch this. Now let's leave. And we're going to start it over again. So let's do this. And we're not even going to shoot anybody. We're not even going to go through it like regularly. We're going to go through it like this. So the void is a cheat mechanic. The void lets you do things that you're not able to do. So watch this.
So Noah asks, can you damage enemies while in the void?
Yes, you can, Noah. And that's where the void debuff comes in and the penalties come in. Yes, you can. So like, for instance, if we do this right here. You see how nothing sees us? No cameras see us. None of them see us. So we exist and they don't see us. We exist in a completely different dimension. Now, as soon as we come out of it, they see us. See that? Now, check this out. If we come over here, we'll do the same thing, but this is on the opposite end. So you can see how this works. So right now, there's no threat where we are, right? Let's get away from there because there's a threat zone right there. I'm gonna get away from that threat zone. Actually, let's kill this guy. Ouch. All right, so let's kill him. And now we're gonna go into the void. Now watch, right here. See this? That's a void creature. We're gonna leave the void. Now watch. His bar doesn't disappear right now, but he has no idea where we are. We don't exist to him anymore. Watch. See? We don't exist to him anymore. We're gone. But as soon as we come back, there he is. Right there. And now we're out. There he is. Now, obviously, that bar won't be there, you know, in the game, but you can at least get an idea of what's happening. Now, watch this. Let's say that we want to do this. We're going to start over and do it again. And you see these islands right here? Let's do this. Let's go here. And we're going to have to get a different skin. So let me get a different skin on. And let's do this. Let's say here. Then we go like this. Now there's no void, right? Now there's void, and you see the islands that are there? Now, let's get up here. Oh, I don't want to jump that yet. Let's go, and there we go. Then we go like this. We get up here. There's boss waiting for us right there, but he's, see him right there? There's the boss. So what I'm gonna do, see that? Watch. Now, where's the boss? See that right there? Now watch. There he is. Everything's gone. And if I step off of here, there's nothing here. You see that, right? There's nothing here. So now if we do it again, he's up on top of that, up there. So you can see him right there. So we'll use void vision. And we can see all the enemies out there, all the human enemies out there. So yeah. And there's different abilities too. You got like a void blink, so you can do stuff like this. Let's go. Let's go like this. Let's go back. Show you some couple abilities real fast. So like for instance, you can blink. Right? You can up. So you see his soul come out? That's what that is. So now look at this. Let's do. It'd be funny if the boss keeps running when not in the void and attacks you. So the thing is that later on in the game, when you're using the void a lot, things will start happening that'll affect you in both realms. a lot of things will start happening that affect you in both realms. And then also, the one last thing I'll show is this here. So watch when this guy comes at us. Yeah, you become the hunted. Like, the hunter becomes the hunted, depending on how you use the void, because there's different ways to use the void. You can use the void for good, and you can use the void for bad. It's all free will driven. So there's slow down camera right here. You see how he's going slow? See how he's going slow? And dead. So yeah, there's different systems and stuff like that are in. All right, you guys, this was just supposed to be a podcast, and we're at 2 hours and 21 minutes. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys that were here hanging out and just chilling with us and watching everything.
Derpy
and
comes in right when we end.
I know. Hi, Derpy. Welcome. We're just ending it right now.
Derpy.
We're just ending it right now, Derpy. But I just want to say thanks to everyone that was here. Please make sure that you guys are on the Patreon. Please make sure you're on the Patreon, signed up on it. Like I said, there's a free tier there, but if you see that you want to support it and help it go farther and help this stream live and come alive, that would be amazing. Would really, really appreciate that. Next week's features, the next things that are going to come up next week, like I said, we're going to finish out the apartment stuff. And then after the apartment stuff, probably lean into finishing out all the bandit camps. And then once that, obviously, you need to set up a giveaway. What kind of giveaway, Devil? What kind of giveaway do we do? Oh, somebody just joined it. Who joined that? Oh, somebody did. All right, I got to figure out how to fix that, but somebody joined it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you doing that. I'm going to fix that, babe. Remind me. Noah joined it. Thanks, Noah. All right, yeah.
Noah did.
I'm going to fix that. Oh, Derpy's been lurking for an hour, so we're good. Derpy's already been here the whole time. Oh, yes. Also, you guys, we do have a Discord. We have a Riftwalker Discord and the Patreon. Once again, we keep talking about it, but I just want to say thank you, and I want to say thank you to my amazing wife who joined me tonight. Like always, she's amazing. And tomorrow, you guys...
Sorry, I wasn't much help here tonight.
Babe, it's okay. It's all right. And then tomorrow night, you guys, we do have our Love and Chaos podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys want to join us there, that's a podcast where we really get just real with everything, and it's a really awesome podcast. Not gonna lie.
Oh, trust me, Webb. At some point, there will be Riftwalker merch. I mean, I was the merchandise queen at Mixer/Microsoft, so.
Exactly, Xbox. Yeah. So.
Xbox, yeah.
Oh, a replica of the Blackwell coat? That would be kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie, Sarge. Seriously.
That would be pretty cool.
Stickers would be cool too. I mean, so that's the thing too. But well, here's the thing. I want to explain this because a lot of people, when they do a Kickstarter, they do a lot of physical items, and by the time their Kickstarter is done, they don't really have anything left to support the game because they got to make all the physical items. Now, don't get me wrong. I like physical items, but that's why I feel like giving virtual items in the game that are there in the game. When you go play it on Steam, they're in the game. I feel like those are huge, and that's why I did that. Just to me, I think physical items, they get too crazy, and shipping and all these different things. You got to think of all the different expenses that come with that. Seriously. And to me, it's awesome. And maybe, once down the line, once we start, getting a large support on the Patreon, then maybe we'll think about doing that.
Yes,
exactly, Gray. That's what I'm getting at. You gotta gain traction before you can even think about that, in my opinion. I mean, I think it's great, and I'm not against it, but at the same time,
eventually we'll be able to do that. But to be honest, right now we need a lot more traction on the Patreon to even do anything.
To think about anything like that. So
there's the official Discord link, by the way, Webb. We actually have a custom URL.
Yeah, thanks to Devil. Appreciate you, Devil.
Thanks to Devil.
Yeah, he snatched it up for us. It was awesome of him to do that. But yeah, you guys, you can catch us here Monday at 8 p.m. on Twitch. Hang out with us. Listen what's going on with Riftwalker. And also, if you're on the Patreon, there will be updates on the Patreon. So look out for more stuff, more story lore coming, just different things. I think the next thing I'm going to start rolling out is like the faction story lore on the different factions and stuff. Bunch of one-pagers. But yes, just want to say thanks to all you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. And you guys have a fantastic night. Really appreciate you all. All right, everyone.
And we will see you guys tomorrow. Love and Chaos podcast.
Let's go. All right.
I'm sure there's going to be a Riftwalker stream at some point. But
yeah, there is. There is. All right, you guys. We'll talk to you later. You guys have a great night. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.